Hi, welcome back to Lee Capital Trading. This is video 4 of a 12 video series on technical analysis. My name is Eddy Lee, and in the last video we talked about candlestick psychology, why patterns form and what do they mean. Today we're connecting the dots because candlestick patterns are powerful, but candlestick patterns at random prices, not very high probability. Candlestick patterns at key levels, that's where the magic really happens. Today we're talking about support and resistance. The actual price levels where traders are watching, where prices can reverse, and where your setups can come alive. This is the piece that ties everything together, so let's get to it.
Disclaimer: stocks, futures, and options involve substantial risk and are not suitable for every investor. I am not a financial advisor, and I do not give financial advice. Everything we say and do are opinions, and for educational purposes only. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to our video. It will really help us out with the algorithm. Let's start with definitions, but I want you to understand this viscerally. Support is a price level where demand is so strong that price stops falling and bounces back up. Think of it like a floor. When price drops to that level, buyers step in and say, nope, not going lower. They push back, and price bounces. Resistance is the opposite. It's a price level where supply is so strong that price stops rising and gets pushed back down. Think of it like a ceiling. When price rises to that level, sellers step in and say, nope, not going higher. They push back, and price drops. Here's what's important. These aren't magical lines. They're created by supply and demand, by buyers and sellers, real traders, institutional traders, hedge funds, banks. They all watch the same support and resistance levels. So price does respect these levels. It's not magic. It's math. It's order flow. Here's how these levels are created. Imagine price is falling. It hits a level at $5,090. Buyers see that price and say, that's a good entry. They buy. Price bounces back up. Then a week later, price falls again. It gets to $5,090. Same buyers remember last time. That's support. They buy again. Price bounces again. Then again, a week later, price falls to $5,090. Same thing. Buyers pile in. Price bounces. Now traders all over the market are looking at this chart and thinking, price has bounced off $5,090 3 times. That's a strong support level. The strength of a level comes from how many times it's been tested. 1 test, weak. 3 tests, strong. 5 tests, very strong. And here's the thing that changes everything. When a strong level finally breaks, it means the market shifted. The buyers or sellers who were defending that level gave up. And when one side gives up, the other side runs. Let me show you how support works specifically in an uptrend, because this is where you make money. When we're in an uptrend, price keeps making higher lows. What does that mean? It means each time price pulls back, the pullback stops at a higher level than the previous pullback. In this scenario, you're looking to buy at or near support and sell at resistance. Price is working for you. But here's the warning. If price pulls back and it breaks the support level, if it goes below the previous low, that's when the trend is changing. That's when sellers are taking over. That break of support is often your signal to get out of the long. Because if support is broken, the next support level is often much lower. Same concept, but opposite. In a downtrend, price keeps making lower highs. Each resistance level is lower than the last. That's a downtrend. That's sellers in control. In this scenario, you're looking to short at or near resistance and buy to cover at support. In the warning, if price bounces and it breaks the resistance level, if it goes above the previous high, that's when the trend is changing. That's when buyers are coming back. So you pay attention to these breaks. Their direction changes. Their trend changes. Here's a question. If support at $5,090 has held 3 times, why would it break the 4th time? Because supply overwhelmed demand. Think about it. If support holds, it's because buyers keep stepping in at that level. But what if one day there are too many sellers? This often happens after bad news. Maybe earnings are bad. Maybe the Fed raises rates. Suddenly, everybody wants to sell. The support that held for months just snaps. And here's something really interesting. When support breaks, it often becomes resistance. Why? Because traders who bought at support are now underwater. They're waiting for price to bounce back to their entry point, so they can get out. And when price does bounce back to the old support level, they sell to escape the pain. So old support becomes new resistance. This is exactly how I trade in my room. We look for these breaks of support, we take our shorts, and then we wait for the bounce into old support turned resistance, and we short that bounce. Same concept, opposite direction. Resistance breaks when demand overwhelms supply. Imagine resistance at $5,110 has held for months. Sellers keep defending it. But then good news comes out. Suddenly buyers are FOMOing in. There aren't enough sellers at $5,110 to stop them. So buyers push through resistance. Price goes to $5,115, $5,120, $5,130. Buyers are in control. And here's what happens next. When resistance breaks, it becomes support. Why? Because traders who sold at resistance are now underwater. They shorted at $5,110, thinking it would hold, and now price is at $5,120. When price does pull back to the old resistance at $5,110, they buy to cover. So old resistance becomes new support. In my trading room, this is a constant play. We're watching these breaks, we're trading them, and we're anticipating the new support/resistance that forms afterward. Alright, so how do you actually draw these on your chart? For support, you look at the price chart and you find the points where price bounced, the lows. Then you draw a horizontal line connecting those lows. The more points that line touches, the stronger the support. 1 point? Barely matters. 3 points? Real support. 5 points? Strong support. Same thing for resistance, but you're connecting the highs. Now here's something important. Use the time frame you're actually trading on. If you're a day trader on the 5-minute chart, don't be drawing support and resistance from the daily chart. Draw them on the 5-minute chart you're looking at. But, and this is huge, also look at the hourly or the 4-hour chart to see if there are major levels that overlap. If a level is support on the 5-minute and the hourly, that's a strong level. That's confluence. Now I want to introduce you to something that changed my trading. Confluence. Confluence is when the same support or resistance level shows up on multiple time frames. Let me give you an example. You're looking at the 5-minute chart. You see support at $5,100. But then you zoom out to the 15-minute chart. The support is also at $5,100. Then you zoom to the hourly. Support is also at $5,100. That's confluence. That's where everyone is watching. That's where all the orders cluster. And when price bounces at a confluence level, the bounce is strong. When price breaks through a confluence level, the break is explosive. In my trading room, confluence is one of the main things we hunt for. We're not just looking for one support line. We're looking for multiple time frames saying, this level matter. Not all support and resistance levels are equal. Some matter, some don't. A strong support level is one that's been tested multiple times and held. Think of a support level that's held for 3 months. Price has bounced off it over and over. That level is strong. A strong support level also shows up across multiple time frames. So it matters on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the hourly, maybe even the daily. A weak support level? That just formed. Price barely tested it once or twice. It's only showing up on one time frame. It has low volume. Weak levels get broken easily. Strong levels hold for a while, but when they do break, it's a big deal. In my trading room, we ignore weak levels. We focus on strong levels. Because weak levels are noise. Strong levels are signals. Alright, let's talk about using these levels. How do you actually trade them? One of the most common setups is trading the bounce. You identify a strong support level, price is approaching it, and you wait for it to bounce. Here's how I do it in my trading room. First, I identify the support level. Let's say $5,090. This level has held multiple times. It's strong. Price is now at $5,100, and it's falling. It's approaching $5,090. I don't buy immediately. I wait for confirmation. I wait to see a bounce. I might wait for a hammer candle, or a bullish engulfing, or just a big green candle that shows buyers are stepping in. When I see that confirmation, then I buy. My stop loss goes just below support, maybe $5,088. My take profit is either at the next resistance level, or I calculate it based on risk reward. If I'm risking $2, I want to make at least $4. The key is, wait for confirmation. Don't buy before support. Buy when price shows it's bouncing at support. Same concept, opposite direction. Trading the rejection. You identify a strong resistance level. Let's say $5,110. This level has rejected price multiple times. Price is now rising and approaching $5,110. Again, I don't short immediately. I wait for confirmation. I wait to see a rejection. I might wait for a shooting star candle, or an upper wick rejection, or a big red candle that shows sellers are stepping in. When I see that confirmation, then I short. My stop loss goes just above resistance, maybe $5,112. This is often where I see the best setups combining everything we've learned. Strong resistance level, price approaching with momentum. Then a shooting star candle forms at resistance. That's a setup. That's when you're short with high confidence. Now let's talk about what happens when support or resistance breaks. This is where the big moves happen. When a strong support level gets broken, it means sellers overwhelmed buyers. The support that held for months just snapped. That's significant. That's a signal. So a breakout setup looks like this. Price is at support at $5,090. For the last month, it's bounced here 5 times. But today, it breaks below $5,090. Price goes to $5,085. That's your signal. Something changed. You short the break. Your stop loss is just above the broken support. Your take profit is the next support level lower. But here's the warning. False breakouts happen. Price breaks through, goes a little bit lower, then bounces right back through the level. So you want confirmation. Wait for price to close, beyond the level. Wait for volume. Wait for follow-through. Don't chase the break immediately. Wait for the candle to close, then enter. Here's one of the coolest dynamics in trading, the flip. This is when a level changes from support to resistance, or vice versa. Support at $5,090 has held for months. Traders have bought there repeatedly. Then one day, the level breaks. Price goes down to $5,085. Now traders who bought at $5,090 are underwater. Price bounces and comes back up to $5,090. The traders who are underwater see this as their chance to escape. They sell at $5,090, their break-even point, just to get out of the pain. Now instead of buyers defending $5,090, you've got sellers. That old support has become resistance. This is extremely tradable. We wait for the break of support. We short. Then we wait for the bounce into the old support level. We see it acting as resistance. We short the resistance. I trade this constantly in my room. We identify the flip. We structure our position sizes based on it. Here's a refinement to what we've been talking about. Support and resistance aren't just single lines. They're zones. Price doesn't bounce at exactly $5,090. It bounces somewhere around $5,090. Maybe $5,088. Maybe $5,092. It's a zone. So instead of drawing a single line, I like to shade a zone. Support zone is from $5,088 to $5,092. Why does this matter? Because it gives you flexibility in your entries. You don't have to hit the exact price. You can enter anywhere in the zone and be reasonable. Try this. Instead of drawing thin lines, draw thick shaded zones on your chart. Support zone, resistance zone, then trade entries within those zones. This is how pros think about it. They're not obsessed with exact prices. They're thinking about zones where supply meets demand. Here's where to find the strongest support and resistance: the past. The most powerful levels are the ones that have history, the ones that have held for weeks or months or even years. Why? Because if a level has held for 3 months, thousands of traders have seen it. They've placed orders there. They remember it. When price approaches it again, they're ready. So on your chart, scroll back. Look at 3 months of history. Look at where price has really bounced. Look for levels that appear multiple times across that history. Those are your key levels. In my trading room, we're constantly looking at the past. We're asking, where has price bounced before? Because that history predicts the future. A level that held for 3 months and now price is approaching it again? That's a strong setup. We're ready to trade it. Alright, let me tie this all together. This is where the magic happens. You combine 1. The candlestick psychology we learned in video 3. You're looking for patterns that signal direction. 2. Support and resistance levels. You're looking for key levels where price interacts. 3. Confluence. You're looking for levels that matter across multiple time frames. 4. Volume. You're looking for confirmation that traders agree. When all 4 of these line up, you've got a setup. That's when you trade with high confidence. Here's a real example from my trading room this week. Downtrend on the SPX. Price approaching a strong resistance level that's held for weeks. Same level shows up on the 5-minute, 15-minute, and hourly charts. Confluence. As price approaches the level, a shooting star candle forms. Reversal pattern. Volume spikes, showing rejection. That's our signal. We short. This is exactly how we trade every single day in my room. Pattern plus level, plus confluence, plus volume, equals setup. Before we close out, let me tell you the mistakes I see beginners make constantly. First, trading levels without confirmation. They see support and immediately buy. Don't do that. Wait for the bounce. Wait for a confirmation candle. Second, ignoring confluence. They trade a level that only shows up on the 5-minute chart. That's a weak level. Third, trading weak levels. A level that's only been tested once or twice? That's weak. Forget it. Fourth, chasing breakouts without volume. Price breaks a level but volume is low? That's a trap. Fifth, not accounting for the flip. They trade a breakout without considering that the old level will become resistance on bounce back. Sixth, wrong time frame. They draw support/resistance from the daily chart, but they're trading the 1 minute. That doesn't work. The pros? We wait for confluence. We wait for patterns. We wait for volume. We trade multiple signals aligning, not just one. So that's support and resistance, the levels that matter, how to find them, how to trade them, how they interact with candlestick patterns. Next video, we're zooming out. We're talking about trends and market structure, because support and resistance work within trends. You need to understand whether you're in an uptrend, downtrend, or sideways market. Before you go, if this video made sense, like it. Support and resistance might be the most important concept in trading. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Here's my question for the comments. Have you ever noticed support and resistance on the charts you look at? Pick a chart you've seen recently, and comment below what levels you found. And if you want to see this in action, join my trading room. We're doing this live, every single trading day. Link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in video 5.